Hello students, welcome to this session. In this session we are going to explain the topic which is sorting. So sorting, as you know, it is nothing but arranging the elements either in ascending order or descending order. We'll consider it as sorting. For year syllabus we are going to study three different types of sortings. One is bubble sort, insertion sort and selection sort. In this session I am not going to explain you about algorithms. In this session we are going to just explain the method that is used in bubble sort, insertion sort as well as selection sort. In the coming sessions, I will be explaining the algorithms for bubble sort, insertion sort as well as selection sort. Similarly, we'll also have programs. So programs I have sent you through PDF. You should just go through that. Once I explain algorithm, the same concept will be used in program also. Now, coming for the topic, which is sorting. As I told you, sorting is arranging the elements either in ascending order, descending order. We'll consider it as sorting. Now, first coming for bubble sort. Okay, so bubble sort. So if I have some set of elements, say I'll consider A of 5. For all the examples, I'll consider I have 5 elements. So if I have 5 elements and so those 5 elements are something like this. I'll consider 27, 4, 10, 11 and some 16. Have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So A of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So have 5 elements. So 5 elements are 27, 4, 10, 11 and 16. Now first method is bubble sort. So bubble sort is nothing but it is going to compare adjacent elements. If it is going to compare one element with the next adjacent elements. So each and every pass. So when I say pass is nothing but if it completes one stretch, in the sense starting from the first position, once it reaches last position or in between one phase, it is nothing but pass. We'll consider as one time the calculation has been finished. So then it is nothing but we'll consider as pass. Okay. So we'll have n minus 1 number of passes. So that is bubble sort will be usually having n minus 1 number of passes to complete the sorting. In the sense, n will be representing number of elements. Then if the number of elements is 5, within 4 passes it is going to sort all the elements in an order. Okay, within 4 passes it is going to sort all the elements in an ascending order. Okay, now we'll see how it is done. When you consider the elements we have as 27, 4, 10, 11 and 16. Bubble sort, what it is going to do is it is going to compare the adjacent elements, that is 27 and 4. When it compares 27 and 4, so first it checks whether 27 is greater than 4. If that is true, it is going to swap. If it is going to swap, we are going to get the result as 4, 27 and rest of the elements will be as it is 10, 11 and 16. And again, next it is going to compare the next two elements 27 and 10. So in this case I am going to get 4, 10, 27, 11 and 16. So it sees that the element that is towards left side should not be greater than the element towards right side. If that is the case, it is going to swap. Now again it is going to compare 27 with 11. Now it is compared 27 is greater than 11. In that case we are going to swap again. We are going to get 4, 10, 11, 27 and then 16. Okay. And again at last we are going to compare 27 with 16. So that I will get 4, 10, 11, 16 and 27. So this is how. So once we have started with 0 and we have ended at last position. So this completes pass 1. So now the pass 1 has completed. Now if you can see, the elements is already in ascending order. It is already in the ascending order. So if that is not in the ascending order, we will go and select the other set of elements. So I will take one more example. Say consider I have the elements like, I will make this as 28, this as 2. Okay, So I'll consider the second example where I have 27, 4, 28, 2 as well as 16. In this case, if I consider the first two elements, 27 is greater than 4, so we're going to swap. So I'm going to get 2, 27, 28, 2 and 16. Next, again these two elements will be compared. Is 27 greater than 28? It is not greater than 28, so we are not going to swap. So we're going to have the same elements again. Now again, we are going to compare 28 with second element or 2. So 28 is greater than 2, so we are going to swap. I am going to get the result as 4, 27, 2, 28 and 16. And at last I am going to compare this two elements. If I compare, I am going to get the result as 4, 27, 2, 16 and 28. So now if you observe, we have started from the first position and we have compared till last. So this will be the answer of pass 1, that is first pass. Now second pass will start from here. Second pass is, we are going to start from the first again. So we are going to compare the first two elements. Is 4 greater than 27? No, we are not going to start. Again, next we are going to compare 27 with 28. So it is true. That is, then what we are going to do? We are going to get 4, 2, 27, 16 and 28. Then again we are going to compare these two elements. So we are going to have 4, 2, 16, 27 and 28. Okay. So this is nothing but our pass 2. This will be our pass 2. Okay. Now you should remember one thing. So I'll tell you what is this. So here it ends, and at pass 2 it will be ending at 27. And next, coming for pass 3. Pass 3 we have the elements like 4, 2, 16, 27 and 28. Now here we'll compare these two elements. It is true, so we're going to get 2, 4, 16, 27 and 28. Now if you see, the elements are in ascending order. So this will be our pass 3. Okay. Now, so the bubble sort main concept is, at each and every pass, once first pass has completed, the largest element in the array, when it has started, we have this as the input. The largest element was what? 28. It should reach to the last position. Okay. So whenever you start a pass, whenever you are using bubble sort, in that case what happens? For every pass, the largest element will be reaching the last position. Now it has reached the last position. Now we will consider rest of the elements, that is these 4 elements. In these 4 elements, largest element was what? 27. So during the second pass completion, the 27, that is second largest element, has reached its position. So that is, it has reached the second largest position. Again, so the rest of the elements we have are 16. 16 has reached its position, that is third position. So this type of method we will consider as bubble sort, where at each and every pass, once a pass has completed, the largest element will reach its position, which is last position. Okay. So and every time we are comparing, at first pass we will consider all the 5 elements. Okay. How many number of elements is that? Those many number of elements will be considered in the first pass. Once the first pass has completed, for the second pass we are going to consider only the 4 elements, because the largest element has already reached its position. So no need to compare that. So we will be taking only 4 elements. And once this has completed, in the third pass we are going to take only the 3 elements, because first 2 largest has been placed in its position. So next we need to find the third largest. Okay. So like that we are going to reduce the number of comparisons we are going to make as the number of passes increase. Okay. So that method we are going to study in terms of bubble sort. Okay. So this is the first method, which is nothing but bubble sort. Okay. So next we will see the next method, which is called as insertion sort. So insertion sort is something like, if you have these elements like 27, 4, 28, 2 and 16. I will consider the same elements. Now if I want to implement insertion sort, in that case what we are going to do, we are going to consider something called as key element. Okay. What is a key element is? Or you can also divide the given array into two divisions. One as sorted, that is this as sorted, and this as unsorted. We are going to divide the array into two sections, one as sorted and another one as unsorted. The first element we are going to consider it as already in its position, that is it has sorted, and all the rest of the elements will consider it as unsorted. From unsorted, we are going to take the first element, which is 4, and this element will be compared with 27. If 27 is greater than 4, then we are going to exchange. In that case, I am going to get the element as 4, 27, 28 to 16. So this completes the first pass. Pass 1 is completed. So in insertion sort, what happens? We are going to divide the array into two sections. The first element is considered as sorted and rest of the elements will be considered as unsorted. And each and every pass, we are going to take one element from the unsorted list and it will be compared with sorted list. Now we are going to take the first element, which is 4, it will be compared with 27. So 27 is greater than 4, so we are going to write 4 first and then it will be followed by 27. Now, so if you see this is sorted because it is in ascending order. 4, after that we have 27. So this is in sorted order. Next again, we are going to consider in the unsorted list. Now this is sorted and this is unsorted. From the unsorted we are going to take 28. And this 28 will be compared with 27 and this 28 will be compared with 4. And if I compare 28 and 24, we cannot exchange because 28 is greater than 27. Again, 28 is also less than 4. So we are not going to change anything. So it will be as it is. So this will be the result of pass 2 also. Now, in pass 2, I got this result. That is, we have sorted under sorted list, we have 4, 27 and 28. Now again, in unsorted list I have 2. So this 2 will be selected and it will be compared with 28. So 2 is less than 28. So we are going to write 2, 28, 16. And again key element will be compared with 27 also, which is again less than greater than 2. So we are going to write 27 and 2. Sorry, 2 and 27. And after that 2 will be compared with 4. So 4 is also greater than 2. So we are going to write 2 as well as 4. So this will be the result after pass 4. So once I write pass 4, I am going to get the result like this. And at last, so finish with pass 1 and pass 2 as well as pass 3. Now for pass 4, I am going to consider this as a key element and it will be compared with 28 and it will be compared with 27. So then we will get 2, 4, 16, 27 and then 28. So this will be the result of using insertion sort. In insertion sort, the method is like first we are going to take the first element, so as sorted and the rest of the elements as unsorted. From the unsorted list, we are going to take one element and it will be compared with the sorted list. So according to that, we are going to sort the element. Again, in the second pass, we are going to take this as the element or 28 as a key element and it will be compared with 4 and 27. So the same method will be continued until all the elements are sorted by using insertion sort. Okay. And last type of method we have is called as selection sort. So selection sort, it is similar to that of previous method, but only difference is we are going to use or we are going to assume something like smallest element. It is just opposite to that of your bubble sort. Okay. Now what we are going to consider is I am going to assume smallest element is 27. The first element whatever we have, we are going to consider that as the smallest element. So if smallest element is 27, we are going to compare this 27 with each and every other element. That is, I am going to compare whether 4 is less than 27. So that is true. Then small will be what? Smallest element will be 4. Again I am going to compare whether 28 is less than 4. Again 2 is less than 4. This is true. Then smallest element will be what? 2. And again, we are going to consider whether 16 is less than 2. So that is, when I consider the smallest element, so in the given array, first element is 27. I will consider this as the smallest element. This element will be compared with all the other elements. In the sense, I am going to compare whether 4 is less than 27. So this is true. If that is true, smallest element is now what? 4. Now again, for the second comparison, I am going to compare smallest element is 4. Whether 28 is less than 4? No, this is false. So smallest element will remain 4. And again we are going to compare with next element, that is whether 2 is less than 4. This is true. In that case, smallest element will change to 2. Again, we are going to compare it with 16. That is whether 16 is less than 2. This is false. So smallest element is what? 2. Now we are going to swap this element with this element. That is 27 and 2 will be swapped. So I'll get 2 here and we'll get 27 here. So this will complete pass 1. So pass 1 will complete by finding the smallest element. That is smallest element in the array. Okay. So once we find the smallest element, we'll consider only the rest of the elements. So smallest element is at the first position. So no need to compare that. We'll take the rest of the elements. From the rest of the elements, we'll consider 4 as smallest element. So I'll consider smallest element, next smallest element as 4. I'll compare it with other elements. Is there any element less than 4? No. So it will remain in the same position. Then again, next we are going to compare 28. So next 28 will be smallest element. 28 will be compared with 27. Now smallest element will become what? 27. And again 27 will be compared with 16. The smallest element will be what? 16. Out of these 3 elements, the smallest element is what? 16. So then these 2 elements will be exchanged. In that case, I will get the result as 2, 4, 16, 27 and 28. So this will be a result once the elements are sorted. So that is about selection sort. So in selection sort, the method is simple. First we are going to consider the first element as the smallest element, and this element will be compared with all the other elements. If there is any other element less than this element, we are going to swap the elements. Okay. So based on this, I am going to give you some questions. You just solve the questions, sort the elements by using all the 3 methods: insertion sort, selection sort, as well as insertion sort. And please upload that details in the teachment. Okay. Thank you.